My name is Romina Gonzales. I'm from Lima, Peru. I'm an artist. I create work in different media, printmaking, painting, photography, sculpture, and glass as well.
My name is Edison Zapata. I'm originally from Colombia, and I'm a mixed media artist that mainly uses glass. The body of work on display at the moment here at UrbanGlass has 2 points of departure that seem to meet, because there are some pieces that Romina has worked on before we met, and there are some pieces that I have in the show that I did and started before we met. So we have some of those, maybe about 10% of it, but 90% of the work was developed within the last 18 months. And within the last month, we probably produced 40% of the work.
The work on display at UrbanGlass shows, I think, is a good record of our collaboration together. It shows everything that we've been working on since we started about 2 years ago. We started together doing some wrinkled lights that were first to Soho, where we were trying to mimic fabric, and then we continued those ideas and applied them to other straighter shapes, and just our ideas kept going. I think that the success of our collaboration is that we're both very critical, and we don't conform easily with the result of our work. So every time he does something, I'm like, oh, no, I don't think that was good. And every time I do something, it's the same way.
Yeah.
So at the end, I think that every single thing that we create is actually the best that we can both give, because we're constantly going back and forth, criticizing each other and improving ourselves. Our approach to lighting, and I think in general everything we create, is the same as the name of the show, which is off-center. Mostly everything that people know in glass is perfectly blown shape, very symmetrical, but people really don't realize that glass is an organic, free-flowing material that is in the state of honey, that flows, that folds, that bends, that drips. So we're trying to constantly replicate those ideas and freeze those moments and make sure that when that is happening, we just stop right before it goes too far, and so that can stay frozen in the material. And the beautiful thing about the lights, and that's what also has kept us working with lights, is that when you have a bulb inside a shape that is not perfectly blown, the shadows that it casts, like Edison was mentioning, are amazing. And either on the walls, on the floor, it sometimes distorts the bulb inside them. So that's why we kept working with lights.
Following the norms that surround us with the designers and artists that work in the studio, it's an issue, because I do observe what's around me, and as do all the other artists that work at the studio. So we like to think that our work is more about reacting and rebelling on the norms that are produced for lighting. In specifically speaking, there are some works that are very similar. Yes. So we have 3 different types of lights that we're working with. So as not to just stick to one series and call it a day, we're actually trying to develop a signature or an identity in the lighting that we do. So it's an ongoing process. It's hard to say that we're not going to say we're going to stop where we are and that's it. No, that would be mimicry.
We're trying to constantly show glass in a different condition than what we normally encounter. So that's something that we love to see when other people say, like, wow, I didn't know that glass was like that. It looks so cool. So that really is definitely the most rewarding part of the work. I just would like to say thank you to UrbanGlass and the studio. It's a wonderful place to work at, and I think that we wouldn't have been able to develop develop all this new body of work if it wasn't for the new studio and for the opportunity that we get there to teach, to work, and also to bring this experience to other people, which I think is another important part of the work.
All this work was a product of this studio.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for it.